Alrighty, my friends, what is up? Welcome back. Today we're going to do something pretty exciting. We're going to start changing the fuel system over finally. I believe I have all the parts now. First thing I'm going to do is start worrying about how to get the gas out of the tank because, of course, when the transmission and stuff broke, I had just filled it up with a full tank of 93 and it's almost at 3/4 right now. So we got quite a bit of fuel left in the tank, so I'm going to worry about trying to get that out. I think I'm just going to run the pump, run it all out, be done with it, and then I'm going to try to get the bed off. I think I'm going to try to do this. I've never done this before, so I'm going to take the bed off and then try to slide that back so I don't have to drop the tank. I might have to drop the tank. It's not really that complicated, but if I could do it with sliding the bed back, that might be easier. I don't know if you can see in there, but that white way back there, that is actually the top of the fuel sending unit, and it's right above the back section of the bed right here. So one option would be to cut a hole in the bed to access it, but it's actually right above the back of the bed rail, so that'd be kind of awkward. So I might just see if I can slide this thing back and maybe access it that way. We'll see. But another bit of exciting news before we get started on that, check this out. Got the torque converter back today. Isn't that crazy? I wasn't even expecting this to come. No idea. It's Saturday today, so I really wasn't expecting it, and the thing just showed up. So that's pretty cool. This is all repaired. This is all fixed. Everything is good. It is the same converter. I can tell by the marks on the back because it got hot. So it is the same billet section here. So I don't know if they just cut this section off and welded a new one on, or they cut the whole front of it. I would think that they probably cut the whole thing open and then welded it back on and redid it. Not really sure. But that's pretty cool that that thing came back. So I actually emailed the company because I didn't get any information from them. It was like kind of really weird how this happened. So I emailed them and I was like, hey, it's broke. And they said, cool, send it back. We'll fix it. And then I sent it back. And they sent it back to me like, I think it was like a week, really fast, and no other information or communication about it. Super weird. So I emailed them kind of asking like what they found, what was wrong with it, what they replaced, stuff like that. So I'm just curious. I kind of want to know what happened or what they found with it, but it was just odd. Kind of cool, actually, that I just emailed them. I called them on the phone, and I was like, literally just like, hey, my converter's broken, and they were like, cool, send it back. So that's a big thumbs up to Roadrunner. I think that's pretty cool. So hopefully I have good luck with this and no other issues that are going to cause this thing to seem like it goes bad. Like I said, I don't think I really talked about it much in any other videos, but I don't feel like switching to a different converter at this point is going to give Roadrunner a fair shake in this whole deal, because I'm pretty sure it was I'm pretty confident it was the driveline failure that caused the converter to break with everything else. So there's some people that I've been talking to that are kind of skeptical now about using Roadrunner because of this issue, that possibly was the converter that caused the problem. I don't really think it was, and I'm willing to give it another shot to find out. I don't really think it's a fair shake for them. So we're going to run it and find out. So let's get started on this fuel system. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bypass my fuel pump relay. So my fuel pump relay is actually integrated into the factory harness, and this is all unhooked. And you can see down here I do have a separate fuse box underneath, and there's my fuel pump relay that I added. So I do have a different relay actually inside the bottom section of this box. That's like my main relay that activates the computer and everything else. So there's my separate fuel pump relay. And then this little separate fuse box here. So if you guys haven't seen that yet, that's how that works. And then aside from this little orange wire that I just added, everything is integrated pretty well. And then loomed almost like factory. So I wanted to retain as much of the factory fuse box function as I could. So I feel like I was pretty successful with that. But that's what we're doing here. This is all pulled apart. So I'm gonna get this out of here. I might keep this relay in the same spot, but I'm gonna have to change this wiring because I'm gonna do the wiring all the way back to the tank now. My current fuel pump is about right here somewhere in the truck, so on the frame rail. So that wiring that comes from the front only comes to about right here, where I'm gonna actually be extending it now and going to the tank. So instead of just extending, splicing in and extending, I'm gonna run all brand new wire. All right, so I got a can here, and this line is what was going to the feed on the fuel rail. This is just going into the can now. I did hook up a wire to trigger the fuel pump relay. I'm just gonna put it on the battery, positive, and then you'll hear it engage. Hear the fuel pump running. So I'm gonna stuff it in here. So it just runs. And we'll just continue to run this until this can's about full. We'll probably need to do about 3 of these cans. And we'll probably just dump it into the other vehicles. Should be okay. 350Z takes 93, so I'll just put this in there. Alright, I'm on the second day. This is probably actually going to run into like 3 days because yesterday all I did was empty the gas out. So today I worked on getting the bed out, but I'm on my way to go do something else. So this is probably as far as I'm going to get tonight. I do have all the access that I need to the top of the tank. As you can see, this is like right above where the back of the front of the bed would be. So it's kind of an awkward thing if I did want to cut a hole there. And before you guys get all jumpy about this, I kind of just wanted to take the bed off and see how it was going to be. So kind of makes up my mind if I want to pull the tank from now on or pull the bed off. Wanted to see how difficult it would be. It'd be a lot easier now that the bolts are already removed because they'll just come right out, and this only took probably like 15 minutes to set this up. It is relatively safe because I know you guys are concerned about my safety, so it's propped up here. It is still fully secured and hanging. Most of the weight is actually on here, and I used my drive shaft halves to hold the back up. I want to show you guys that this isn't actually holding it up. It's just kind of keeping the bed from being tweaked a little bit. So it's supported. It's not gonna fall or whatever. So even if that did fall out, it's not like it's gonna fall down anyways. That's what I wanted to show you guys. So I'm gonna get to work on starting to get this sending unit out and getting all of the old wiring, the pump, and old lines and everything off. So yeah, like I said, I just mostly did this because I wanted to see what the process was gonna look like and how I felt about it. Still not really sure how I feel. It's a little bit better, honestly, than dropping the tank and going from underneath. That's why I originally drained all the gas out, because I thought I was gonna drop the tank. But then I decided I wanna try this. It's really a pain to drop the tank and do everything from the top and then try to lift the tank up with all the new lines and everything. It's kind of a pain, more than this, I think. So I think this will be a lot more convenient, especially because I can get all the work done from the top and don't have to worry about it. And I'll pick back up a little bit later. I'll be leaving in a few minutes, so not sure what I'm gonna get done today. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is disconnect this battery, and then I'm gonna take the positive and negative leads off and disconnect power from the relay, and then I can go underneath and start unhooking the pump. Now that that's disconnected, I should be able to pretty much just pull this down. Get that out of the way. Got a couple zip ties I'm gonna have to break. So that all just comes back to basically right here. So you can see that that's not going to be long enough to go all the way back to the tank. So that's why I'm getting rid of these wires. And then I'll run fresh wires all the way back so I don't have any crimps or anything weird. Alright, so I got the wiring and the supply line down. Pump is down. I think I'm just going to take the supply off of the sending unit, and I should be able to pull this all out. Alright, so that's all down. So that's pretty much this. Now none of this stuff I'm going to use. That's pretty much it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the same return. It's going to be a 3/8. So I have a fitting for this that's going to go onto here, and then I'm going to put the new bulkhead fitting probably somewhere in there. Ninja. Alright, so I'm going to take the return and I'm going to get this off. So this is just a 3/8 line slid over the 5/16 return. I'm going to get this clamp off. Pull that to the side. This is all pretty much loose already. You can pull this little thing out of here. So yeah, I didn't have a pump in there, so it was on the rail. So I just had this basically sucking up the bottom side. No filter or anything because I had a filter on it. The new pumps are going to have a filter, a screen on the bottom. The new ones I'm not gonna run a filter. I have my sending unit here. I drilled a hole here and I cracked off this little pressure sensor thing and drilled a hole through there. So I'm going to bring my wiring through here. I'm kind of looking at this now. I wish I would have left these a little bit longer because I might have just used these. But I'm going to run the wiring out this hole and I'm going to put my thingy. I got this little bulkhead fitting. This thing's actually kind of cool. It's like a bulkhead with 2 -8s, but it's also a 90. So this is a different fitting. This thing comes off, 2 nuts. Probably just leave this like this. Bulkhead like that. So I'll take this thing and I'm probably going to want to go out this way. Now you just watch, it won't fit. After I just spent almost an hour trying to drill this hole. Yes, and I mean almost an hour, because I guess I didn't really think about it, but this is stainless. This whole sending unit assembly is all stainless. And if you've ever drilled holes in stainless before, it is kind of a treat. It's definitely a lot different than, definitely a lot more challenging than just drilling a hole through regular mild steel. So that was fun. And my bits that I have are just crap from drilling something else that was stainless with a bunch of holes in it. So I'm gonna do this thing like this. And honestly, what's kind of funny is I'm gonna use this for my return. And if I ever want to do a third pump, I'll still be able to use this, and I'll use this the same way that I used the single pump with the other pump. So I could run 2 pumps off of here and then hook my other pump back up the exact same way I had it and run this up to the front for a third pump too. So that's kind of cool. Always planning ahead. So that's what this thing is. And then this is just a -8 to 1/2 inch push lock barb. And this is what I'm going to run all the way up to the front fuel rail. I had to whip this out because I don't just like to talk about it. I got to whip it out once in a while. This is my other thing that I drilled a bunch of holes in. All these stainless plates. This thing took quite a while to do. This is for a Cheeto generator. Basically generates hydrogen oxygen gas. So it separates the hydrogen from the oxygen, basically, blah, 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 blah. So you have a positive and a negative charge. And none of these plates are touching, but you put a battery on this thing and it makes HHO gas and you can burn it. So pretty cool. Alright, so I got the fitting all tightened down now, but I want to show you guys this. On the bottom side, see that flat lines up exactly with that little spot welded bracket there. So I don't even have to hold that nut to tighten the top side. So that, I didn't try that, but it ends up working pretty cool. But it kind of makes me nervous a little bit because I think I just used up all of the rest of my luck on this little piece right here. So here is the behind the scenes cameraman setting up the setting up the angle so you guys can see what's going on. Yeah, okay. So we got the unit. This is the unit. I suppose I didn't even show it. Wires all coming out the top. I did switch the angle a little bit on this. Got this little 3/8 NPT to barb to 3/8 NPT to 1/2 inch barb over here. So these are 3/8 to 3/8 to 3/8 to 1/2 inch. And then
you have little feet.
Yep. And then this is
go inside the tank.
And then this is a 1/2 inch push lock. It's the first time I've ever used push lock. This is actually pretty sweet. I really like that. So let's throw this thing in there.
What do those little feet do?
Those are the pump screens. So they keep all the dirt out of the gas, so it doesn't go to the engine. I'm not going to be able to get this in there. I already had this in, and I'm not going to be able to do it just because I'm making a video right now. Isn't that amazing how that works? There we go.
Yes, now it works.
Now it works. Yep. Camera shy, I guess. Now that's in there. And then the pumps are kind of angled at a rearward direction.
But are all those things out of the stops?
These are just all the wires for the pump. Alright, so that should be good. And I actually took this section here, if you can see it, I took it and bent it up because this hose is going to come out here. So I bent that up a little bit. Now that should be good. I'm going to throw the gasket around the bottom side and leave that just how it is. I think we got this thing finally situated. Got the push lock on this fitting. I got it like halfway on, and it was kind of difficult. So I cut it off and then redid it. And I spit on it a little bit, wiped some Salarva around on there. I think that the trick is really just to spit on it and then jam it in. It seems like it works every time. Just spit on it a little bit and jam it in. Works pretty good, usually. So I'm gonna do this attempt number 7, and then this is gonna be the last one. I'm pretty sure it's gonna go in. It's a little tricky. There's a bunch of little thingies hanging out of it. So got the gasket on now. Push lock fitting is all set. This should be situated to where I need it to go. Put the ring on. Ring on like a Klingon. And they should be able to tighten this down. I usually like to go the opposite direction until I hear it fall down like that, and then start to tighten it, because then I know I'd grab the threads. This thing's probably going to be difficult. So yeah, I didn't really turn it that much that time, and now it's like all the way almost down, it seems like. I cranked this thing a little bit tighter, just for reference. This will tighten on. Now you can see why I bent this section up right here. So I just took a jack handle actually and stuffed it underneath and grabbed it on the framework and pulled it up and pulled that up so it would clear this, and now it works pretty stellar. It's like Ford designed it from the factory like that, so you know it's like mostly terrible. Oh, snap! We're gonna have a bunch of offended people now. I'm just gonna take this now and tighten it up. Hold on, bud. Give her another little snuggle duggle. It should be good. So this plug is pretty much obsolete right now because this was the pressure sensor, and then this thing was connected to the actual fuel pump before. So maybe I'll just cut that thing off of there. I got my wire cutter. Maybe we'll just do it. Cut the cord, guys. Cut the cord. Don't even need it on there anymore. Wires don't go to anything. So these are the wires for the 2 fuel pumps. I'm gonna bring the wires up here, and this is actually going to be the return line that I'm gonna be reusing. I need to get a hose clamp for that, which I have.
Just 1 minute.
Just 1 minute.
I told you to come with that.
Yeah, thanks, bud. I'm gonna have to keep that in there now, just so you get to hear that. Oh man, yeah. I just, I bumped the bed a little bit, and the bed just fell. Didn't fall. It actually went up in the air by me. So I bumped it and everything toppled. Or did you touch those 2x4s, Link? Did you touch the wood?
I was kind of like drumming on them a little.
You were kind of pushing on the wood a little?
I was drumming on them.
You were drumming on the wood. Alright, well that's why the bed fell. Okay. Good thing that I kept it up in the air, just like I did. And hoisted. Otherwise it would have fell. Good stuff. Good job, Dad. Say good job, Dad.
Good job.
Good job, Dad. Wow. So nice. So nice of my son to compliment me like that. Well, that's what happened to the bed. Alright, boys, got her all fixed up. Good to go. This thing's pretty much set. Gonna work on the wiring tomorrow. Should be pretty much everything else. So this is gonna be ran all the way to the front. I just have it running to the coil of the push lock right now. I'm gonna use the same 3/8 return line. Block that. Wire up both pumps. I have a -8 to 1/2 inch push lock. That's gonna go to the supply. And then I have a 5/16 to 3/8 -6 return. And then I do have these extra couplers, couple of these extra ones for the E85 ethanol content sensor that I'm going to wire in. So I'll put that on the return side probably, because this is all 3/8 and I want to keep the 3/8 on the return and the 1/2 inch on the supply. So that's pretty much that. So that's about it, guys. Sorry this video kind of took a few days to make this thing. Been really busy doing some stuff with the family, hanging out, doing other things. Should be getting the drive shaft in a few days. This thing will be done in about a day, and we should be able to do some exciting things. So very excited. Once I get this thing in, I shouldn't have any more fuel issues. Shouldn't have to worry about that crap anymore. Should just be able to turn it up. I want to go to like 14 pounds of boost, 14 degrees of timing, see where I go from there, and just go. I just want to go. I just want to go. We want to get in the 10s. That's the goal. Let's do it. Have a good one.